All right, well, good morning and happy Sunday. Patty McCracken dialing in here from Denver, Colorado, and really excited to be Skyping in or FaceTiming or Zooming in with you all this afternoon as we are really embarking on a tremendous time to be a part of Nerium. So I know we are 7 days out from San Jose, California, and for all of you dialing in here today, excited to see your names, excited to see you plugging in with us, as we're going to go over just about an hour of information in regards to what we need to do this month to finish up the month strong and then get prepared for May, okay, and May 15th. So I was talking to my great friend Don Wilkinson yesterday, and we were talking about all the things that are in line, all the things that are happening right now. And so we're going to call May, make hay in May. Okay, so make hay in May. It's a good saying. It's got some good lingo to it. It's got some good energy and excitement behind it. But what does that mean to you? Making hay in May. It's always been said, right? When the sun is out, make hay. So we are going to be talking about that, but we're not going to forget about this month. But what today's really going to kind of focus on is, again, what you need to be running for Dallas. I know that's not too far down the road. And for all of us that were in San Jose, again, we saw the energy, we saw the excitement. We really saw our company officially open its doors. For the last 42 months or so, it's always been said that we were in pre-launch. We were kind of figuring things out. And for those of us that, were building last year in the year of 2014, it was a great year. We had a lot of success. We had a lot of rank advancements. We had a lot of numbers put on the board as we were building our customer base. But now this is the year to really excel as we start building and opening other countries and other continents. And so these next 60 minutes or so are going to be based on a little bit about what conference covered. And then again, what we need to do to get our teams ready and our leaders ready to go to that next level. You see, I've been a part of Nerium for 42 months, but I've been in the industry since I was 20 years old. And so I've been to many conferences and many big regionals and many big meetings. And I've been a part of a few companies that did have product launch. When we first launched our day cream, it was Dallas, Texas. Last time we were in Dallas at the Gaylord. At that time, it was Lexus by Texas. Everyone that hit senior director was able to get that keychain. That's Desiree in the background, so she can actually wave if she wants. But it is a Sunday morning here, beautiful Sunday morning. But where I was going with this is that right now, it's time. When we launched the day cream, it was amazing to see the amount of numbers that were added to our customer base. You see, guys and gals, that is what we're building inside of Nerium, is a customer base. And so that's what we're going to talk about. For those of you who have already set your goals, set your sights high for Dallas, I think after today's presentation, we're going to be able to take your goal up a rank or two. Okay, and so we're going to show you that just with simple numbers. Okay, the slight edge approach. We are so blessed. We are so grateful to be a part of Nerium International for what Jeff Olson has really allowed us to do, but more importantly, for who we get to work with. The 10 core commitments is something that I've really known since I was 20 years old. And to see that come back into Nerium now, there could not be a better time. And so what does the 10 core commitments mean? What does that embody? What does that represent? It means a few simple daily activities, a few simple daily actions repeated consistently over time to allow you to be core. One of the most important core numbers there is the number 52, be here a year from now. So for all of us that have been with us since February 1st, since we did our first focus group webinar, where have you come from since then? Have you grown? Have you experienced more? Have you gotten better at following up? Have you gotten better at exposing? Have you gotten better at doing real results parties? I would assume to say if you're doing activity, you absolutely have gotten better. There's no way you can't. This is a beautiful business of learn knowledge, activity knowledge, learn knowledge, activity knowledge. And so as we go forward here today, we're going to cover some of the basics of what we need to do, where we need to go. And you're going to hear some of the things a few times. We've already covered some of this about how to track, how to find our runners, how to find our leaders, and how to get our groups to that next level. Last month was a brilliant representation of how beautifully we can grow, how beautifully we can grow as an organization and a team to excel for more. You see, the numbers were up last month, this month, and next month, for sure next month, because of why? Activity is going into the workforce. People are sharing the information. People are booking parties. People are following up with people. That's the only difference at any time of the year, at any time of the season of our company's runs. it's all based on activity and where people are. Okay. And so as we kind of go forward here, that's what we're going to cover. So let me open up the slide presentation. I haven't done one of these in a minute, so I kind of forget how to use this. It's amazing how quickly you can kind of forget some of your technology here. But basically what we're going to start with today is even the initial orders, okay? This is a tremendous value, you guys and gals. And what we need to understand about this amazing 249 starter pack is that it's not a discounted price. You know, we are not trying to discount our opportunity. We are simply trying to lower the price point so more people can get started at a lower investment rate. Okay, and so for 249, you know, what can we think of right now that we've spent $249 on recently? You know, it could have been the Costco bill. It could have been at Target. You know, it could have been, you know, filling up the gas tank a few times. It could have been taking care of the kids, you know, spring sports or extracurricular activities. But $249 is a number that people can grasp, people can understand. You know, that really is, in today's world, a trip to the grocery store or a trip to the, you know, the big brand store to get your groceries for the week or for the month or whatever it is. But $249 is something that everyone can really get behind. And so it's always been said in psychology that when you give someone certain opportunities, when you give someone more options than just one or two, they're generally going to pick the middle option. So if you're looking at this right now, the 249, we're still talking about the 500, the 1,000, and now the jumbo pack, the $1,500 gold pack. Most people are still going to be choosing the 500 to the 1,000. Why? Because that's how they're going to build our business. You see, this is an opportunity to obviously allow more people to say yes. This is going to be a massively successful for our young entrepreneur group. You know, people that haven't been in the workforce that long, 249 is a lot of money. And so it's going to really benefit them. Imagine going back to all the people that you've talked to that didn't have the cash. If they still don't have the cash, there's something wrong, okay? They're not having success in what they're currently doing financially, or there's just too much cash flow going out of their pocket, okay? So we just have to be very real with that. And so let me take a quick moment just to kind of preface a few things here. You see, now that we have EHT, now that we've been partnered up with Signum Biosciences, you know, that the patent is held by Princeton, now that we have been chosen by that university to sell their product, you know, we still will have the naysayers. You know, ignorance is not bliss in network marketing, in opportunity, in entrepreneurship. Ignorance is not bliss. People that want to cover their eyes, not hear, nah, it'll never be for them, okay? We're still going to get feedback. We're still going to get no's. We're still going to get rejection. We're still going to get people that quit. But it is what it is. You know, now there is no excuses. So we got to be very open to what we hear and our feedback that we're receiving. If one of our friends was always telling us I can't afford it, and now they're still giving you that excuse, they simply don't want to do the business yet. Okay, so we have to show them more. We have to show them more value. So my point of all this is really we did not discount our opportunity by any regard. We just lowered the pack. Okay, so how many of us have had to bring in somebody at the 99 and they bought a bottle? You know, whether that was for structure, whether that was maybe to qualify for a certain rank, or whether that was just the circumstance, someone had to come in at 99 and upgrade for a bottle. Well, when you break down the shipping, the tax, the bottle, the starter pack back then, 99, they were already spending close to $200 and some dollars. So look at what they have the opportunity to do now. They have the opportunity of getting started with our starter pack at $249, which allows them to start with 3 bottles of product. You see, in our business, all we do is we take people from not knowing about Nerium to knowing about Nerium. And this is going to be a better way, an easier way to introduce someone to our investment pack. So my next slide, I'm going to show you how you can get someone paid and promoted if they just came in at that level, so they can upgrade in their first week or 2 or maximum 3. But you still should be promoting. You should still be endorsing the bronze, silver, or even gold. You know, gold is a big pack. I know people that could use it. I know people that could absolutely do something with that. You see, if we go back to the basics, if we go back to January 3rd, when I did that webinar at the beginning of the year, we have to go back to what built our company to now being the fastest growing company in network marketing. 400 plus million in our 3rd full year, never been done. As a company, 42 months old, over $800 million cumulative in sales, never been done. So where are we going with this? What are we doing with this? We build a waiting list. We build a customer base. You see, I'm grateful that we have the opportunity of coming together today because I've had now 6 days, 7 days of three-way calls, of prospecting, of following up, of talking with our leaders and talking with you guys and gals about what we're doing here. So I kind of know now the terminology and the language. I also know some of the questions that are coming up. Why did they get rid of the day cream in the success pack? Why did they get rid of the firm cream? Our business model, guys and gals, is setting someone up for success. Everybody can go out there and say, here, try this with our product. That's what built our company. When I got started, it was $500 and 5 bottles. That was it. No Nerium Gives Back, no blitz packs, no opportunity to buy the product at wholesale, sell it for retail, or sample it. And so we know that that is our flagship product. It still is, and it still will be. And so we'll talk about EHT a little bit more down the road here. But this is our starter pack. So enrolling someone at the bronze, silver, gold should not be that difficult. Nerium Gives Back is what built our company. It's one of the greatest promotions. That's a solid promotion. I mean, a staple promotion, meaning it will never leave our compensation plan. It is a signature item of our comp plan. And you want to understand that. Okay, so the bronze, silver, gold is absolutely what you're going to be enrolling people in, but they really want to see what they're getting. And so you got to go back to the basics. At the bronze pack, you're getting 7 bottles of night cream and a day cream. Well, the day cream's for you. The day and the night is for you. The other 6 bottles of night cream are for you to sell at your Real Results party now with the delayed auto ship, which you can make more money now at your parties, which we're going to talk about. But also you can sample it. So 6 bottles into the marketplace, that's 30 plus people can experience your product. And if you do this correctly, you're going to build a customer base. You're going to build an organization and a team. It's just a matter of time before you do that and before you believe that you can do that. Okay, so we all know today that this is not a basic training. This is not for our brand new person. This is for someone that has experience, that has some skin in the game, that has an organization and a team. So we really want to get behind this. And as you can see here, I know it's kind of hidden behind my little moving head, but Nerium Gives Back only comes into action when you have 500 in your personal qualifying volume. So you can do this now by either selling product or by upgrading. But that is really kind of your selling point for bronze, silver, and gold. So my main point here, we did not discount our opportunity. We only allowed more people to come in at a beginning level starter pack price. Okay, people should not be at the starter pack price for long. Okay, they need more product. We know that. It's our job, once we take someone from not knowing to knowing, to help them get paid and promoted. If our organizations and teams are building, they need product. They need product. We all need product. That's how we build our business. Here, try this, check this out. And so I want to talk really quick now about the money. Okay, if someone does come in at $249 and they just don't have the extra money, get that confirmation. Like I know we did it yesterday with a gal. She came in at $249. She gets paid again next week and she's going to upgrade right then and there. But we were able to get her in the business now today. So that's what's allowing us to do. But if you break down the price points, first off, we got a raise. Okay, we got another raise. Something else was given to us in our compensation plan. But we used to get paid $50 to $150 on the $500 pack. And then $100 to $325 on the $1,000 pack. If you break down the starter pack today, now we're getting $25 to $75 just on the starter pack. So again, you bring in a young entrepreneur, they're going to school, they don't have a lot of additional funds, they don't have a lot of savings, they don't have a lot of cash, they don't have a lot of credit. They come in for $249. We have a party with them immediately. We have their second party with them following the first party. I mean, if we do this correctly, if we get some urgency and some excitement, we should be having their first and second party within their first 10 to 15 days maximum. So where am I going with this? They have 2 parties. They invite properly. You walk them through the process, not just texting or emailing, but calling, getting on the phone. We're going to talk more about how we can promote EHT and where we're going as a company. But look at these numbers, okay? If you brought in someone at $249, or that new brand new person, let's call them Joe. Joe comes in at $249. When he brings on his first 3 people, Team A, Team B, and Team C, look at what Joe makes on the starter pack as a brand partner. He makes $25, $25, and $25. What is that? That's $75 in commissions. He brings in his first 3 brand partners at $249. He fast start qualifies. He gets $100 fast start qualification bonus. And then in his parties, if he's selling some product, let's say he sells the day and the night cream, That's $24 in the CAB bonuses, customer acquisition bonus override, rank advancement overrides. Do you see these numbers? Okay, so he got three $25 overrides or commissions on his first three brand partners, A, B, and C. He got $24 times three on his first three customers, and he made $100 in his fast start qualification bonus. That qualifies $247 in commissions by coming into the 249 pack. So he literally brings in three brand partners and three customers. He now has a business that's free and clear. He is in profit mode. He can now reinvest. He can now upgrade, or he absolutely now knows that the belief check is there. He can go out there and build something more. He can get more money. He can pay more. He can earn more. So that's what you really want to understand about that simple process. So for those of you who are building in the young entrepreneur category, you're building in the younger demographic, that's something that you can show them. Okay, when people ask you, how much is it? What's the investment? Generally what they're asking you is, how fast can I get my investment back? How do I make my money back? So if you can explain this very quickly, very simply, you can draw this out on a napkin presentation. Okay, well, you're gonna get $75 for bringing on your first A, B, and C at $249. You're gonna make about $100 and some dollars, on the customer overrides. And then you're gonna make about $100 in your fast start qualification. That's what builds it. Okay, so again, showing someone how they get their investment back right away is kind of the name of the game. So that is what I wanted to cover in the commissions, how the enrollment packs work. This is a tremendous opportunity, guys and gals. $249. I mean, that's a weekend that I don't remember. That's a great date night. That is, again, a trip to the Target or to the grocery store. It's not that much. And if someone doesn't believe in themselves that much to invest $249 into their future with what we have, with where we're going, with what we're already doing, it's not for them yet. Okay, so that's one of the points we really, really had to make here this morning. And so now we want to talk about kind of what we need to do to get you to this next level. And so I know this video is kind of in the middle of the month. And so we obviously need to finish the month strong. Now that we're back from convention, now that we've gone through the new brand partner training, which I highly recommend you do. If you've been in this business, it doesn't matter how long, you got to go through it. Here's why. You want to know what your team is watching, what they're listening to. I've already gone through the Jeff Olson 10 core commitments, which you must do. I would recommend listening to that over and over and over and over and over and over again. There's no one better to hear from the 10 core commitments than our founder, CEO, and the creator of the 10 core commitments, Mr. Jeff Olson. So listen to those CDs over and over and over again. It's filled with rich content. It's amazing how well he goes through it. And you know what? He probably didn't have one note, because he created it, he funded it, he founded it. I mean, we are with the top guy in the world. And I think many of us that were in San Jose can now see that. How can you go wrong with what we have? How can you go wrong with where we are? How do we get the products and the relationships that we get? Because we have established credibility, because we have someone like a Jeff Olson at the helm of our ship. Okay, I've seen him build these relationships. That's exactly what we do in our business. We build relationships with our organizations and with our teams. And so pacing the scoreboard is basically, I'm going on Dallas here. So you want to backtrack from Dallas. So Dallas is what? September 10th through the 12th. Tickets just went on sale again a few days ago. I don't think the link was working, but I think it is working again now, that allow you to get onto the second room, second stage for now while they figure things out. But this is going to be the norm, guys and gals. Our company is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Look what happened just last convention. Look at where we're going to be in Dallas, Lexus by Texas. I mean, that's what's happening here. So you want to backtrack. What events are coming up? When are your regionals? When are your market parties? When is your family vacation? When is graduation? You want to book your calendar. You want to schedule your calendar out from Dallas backwards. And so now may be a good time to announce some of my hot markets that I'm going to be traveling to between now and Dallas. So for those of you on here, obviously I'll be in Tucson and Phoenix quite a bit, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Chicago, and downstate Illinois. Got to come back to Kansas City and the Missouri marketplace and organization and team. Columbus, Georgia, I definitely will be at once between now and Dallas. And then Sonora, Mexico, and Mexico City. So those are my hot markets. Those are where I'm really going to be traveling into. Another thing that I added to my goals the other day is the law of attraction, right? I'm reading a tremendous book that I talked about last time on our webinar that really just puts everything into focus. I mean, if you haven't gotten this book or haven't started it, You really want to. It's an amazing book. It's this one right here, Happy Pocket Full of Money. Okay, incredible book. But some of my law of attraction markets is what I'm calling them. So where I want to go, where I feel I need to be, where I feel I know we're going to burst some momentum, is San Diego and Orange County, California, Salt Lake City, Korea, a little country called Korea, and then Vancouver, British Columbia. So those are my law of attraction markets. But the hot markets where I'm going to be going into, that's what we're going to be doing. Real results parties, real results parties, real results parties. So you want to backtrack from Dallas where you're going to be, what you need to do to get to your goal. Okay, so we talked about this at the beginning of the webinar. You're going to set your goal, but I think after I show you some things on EHT or some product or how this really is going to work for you, then you might be able to bump up your goal another rank or two or maybe even three. Okay, so how many customers do you need to get there? How much volume? How many BPs do you want? You know, how many people have you exposed and you're working on? You're going to have to track this stuff. You're going to want to look at this stuff. And so this, again, is a core group, guys and gals. This is for someone that's been with us for a short period of time. I mean, a longer period of time that has an organization and a team to develop. You know, this is a business where we're all busy. We all have lives. We all have careers. We all have passions and hobbies. But it is the 80-20 rule. Okay, 80% of your organization is only going to do about 20% of the production. 20% of your organization is going to do 80% of the production. The 80-20 rule rules in everything we do, in everything that we are, and everything that we touch on a daily basis. It's the 80-20 rule. You know, at church, in your contributions, in your charities, 80% of the population or that charity gives 20%. The 20% generally gives 80%. Last month, Rank Up Mania, the last 80% of time, or last 20% of time, the last week of time, 80% of the production came in. I'll share with you a number. The last day of the month, we had over 900 people come in just 4 hours the last day of the month, last month, 900 recruits. I think we did over 1,400 just for that day. Okay, so the last 80%, last 20% of time, 80% of the production comes in here. And so where I'm sharing with you right now is that as you're building, as you're growing for these next levels, you got to invest your time wisely with who you're working with. You know, you have to break down what they're doing right now. They have to figure some things out. They have to go through the process. They have to learn. They have to develop. If they want to be in these top level ranks, they have to go through the process on their own. We're here to help. We're here to support. We're here to nurture. We're here to coach and mentor. But at the end of the day, it's about us. It's about what we're doing with our organizations and teams and how much we're helping. So the 80-20 rule really applies here, guys and gals. You have to be going where your production is. And so that's what I based my hot markets on, was the production, where we need to be, where we need to go. You see, all of us are running for ranks. All of us are going for those next positions, those next bonuses, those next pieces of the action. And that's where we have to be. So the 80-20 rule. Right now on your team, who are your 80%ers? Who are your 20%ers? You see, your core group, your focus group is everything. Jeff Olson has always talked about it. Your top 30 people is who you want to be focused on. You want to find your 5 core people, and then you want to help your 5 core find their 5 core. And so committing to the 10 core commitments is everything. That's where you're going to really decipher who's core and who's not. You see, we still are going to run into people and challenges and groups, teams, leaders, communities, organizations that are still going to have issues. They're still going to have things happen. It doesn't matter that we're partnered now with Signum or even have more research and more publications on the Nerium product or our Optumera product line or whatever it is. We're still going to go through the naysayers. It's okay. Ignorance, again, is not bliss. Okay, so you want to pace yourself from where we're going to where we need to be. And then the 80-20 rule is going to apply. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you in regards to how that works. 80-20, 80-20, 80-20. It's just the way it is. So this is kind of the 4 questions that we've all known of. We all go through on a monthly basis here. But what are you running for in detail? What rank? You know, what's the volume needed? You know, how many customers is that? You see, guys, I'm focusing on customers a lot today because the next few slides I'm going to show you are all based on customers and moving your needle, moving your organization to the next level. So do you know what that looks like? You know, we're going to go over this over and over and over again. Why? Because not only is this for you to be going through, what does that look like? But you need to be teaching your team, what does that look like? You know, structure is everything. Knowing what it looks like to get to senior director, executive, regional, national is very, very important. So it's not just about, again, me trying to coach you or teach you this. It's now you having to receive it and be a transmitter and transmit it through your organization and through your team. That's what this next step is all about. So who are the 3 people that you want to focus on? Did that work for you last month? Did that help you? Did a few things click for you in the combination? You see, if we were building a business, if we were going through an analogy here, think about it, your high school locker, or think about a combination on a safe, right? Three numbers, 37, 42, 37, whatever it is, right? So a combination. Our numbers are coming up. Sometimes in this business, it takes us a few months, it takes us a year or 2 to figure out what the numbers are to unlock the combination, to unlock the safe. Everything is coming together for all of us. It's all built. The foundation is laid. Now it is time to absolutely run and go to the next level. So the combination is now coming into play for so many people. That's why you saw people absolutely explode last month. More activity, more knowledge base, more things going out in the marketplace, more people followed up on, and more reasons to do the business. Money talks, and that's what happened. $17 million in bonuses were paid out on top of the existing commissions. Can you imagine that? That is huge. So who are the 3 people you're focusing on? It's now breaking down them. What are they focusing on? What are their goals? That's what it looks like. If you're running for executive, regional, national, let's talk about national really quick, because with the numbers I'm going to show you, all of you on this line, all of you on this webinar today should be running for national marketing director by Dallas. How could you not be? And so we're going to show you numbers of how you can achieve that. If it's out of your mindset right now, I promise you after today, it won't be. But who are the 3 people? What are you focusing on? What are they looking to achieve? We have to spend time on that because that's what it takes. You can't go national without having a lot of directors and senior brand partners and senior directors and executives and regionals. If you break it down for iPads and Lexuses, national marketing director is 15 senior directors. So that means there's going to be a lot of senior brand partners, a lot of directors, a lot of senior directors. Who are your executives? Who are your regionals? Have you identified them yet? If you haven't, that's okay. We will through the process, but that is how we go to the next level. It's about building and developing an organization and a team. It's about going from us and what's important to us to servant leadership. So who are the 3 people you're focusing on? What are you running for? What is it? You have to map it out, and you have to be dreaming bigger. This is the time to dream as big as humanly possible. I do have that opportunity that I was a part of the company from day 20 on. It was difficult. It was tough. But the process here has been amazing. You see, I do get to see a lot of numbers. I do get to talk to a lot of people on the teams. And one thing I want to share really quick is that your story right now is not unique. It's not any different. Everyone is going through stuff in life, whether it's timing issues, challenges, successes, failures, betrayals, breakups, lack of trust, whatever it is, we go through it all in life. Okay, so running for it, dreaming bigger is the time. This is the time to do it. We are just getting started. And so with the new proposals, with the new enrollment packs, with the new marketing, with the delayed auto ship, your parties are going to be that much bigger. And so that's what we're going to talk about. But what are you running for? See, the numbers here are in our favor. And so the 4 questions for identifying your runners, because that's what you're looking to do right now, is identify who on your team is in the game, who is in it to win it. You see, people will still give you excuses. People will still not show up. People will still think, I have time. And they may be right. But right now is the time. If you had to sacrifice any time at all, it's now. It's running into Dallas. It's building as big of an organization and a big of a distribution outlet as you can prior to EHT rolling out. So what are you running for? So when you're calling through your team, when you're calling to welcome calls, when you're calling through checking in on people, when you're calling through, how's your month going? How you doing? How are your numbers? You're looking for what they're running for. So taking inventory. Have you seen the new upgrades? Have you seen the new bottle? Have you seen the new back office? Have you seen the new brand partner training? Have you heard about EHT? Have you heard about the new new ingredient in Optimera? You want to ask those questions. Again, it's a probing question. For those that weren't in San Jose, for those that haven't been to a regional or a recap, they don't know. They may not know. So this is going to tell you if they're reading their email, if they're plugging into the corporate calls or plugging into our Nerium universities. So that's kind of a probing question again for you. Next question. So you've seen the upgrades, great. What are you running for? How many EHT customers do you want to add on the books next month? How many Optumera customers in Canada or Mexico? If you're looking for a rank, if you're asking for that question, you have to get that rank specific because you're going to be going somewhere with this. And so I know I'm covering this again, but we want to cover it over and over and over again. One thing that I've absolutely learned from Mr. Jeff Olson, Mark Smith, the top level leadership, their stories, their trainings, those things don't change that much. They change a little bit due to circumstance, due to experience, due to timing, due to technology, but it's still the same message. So this is always going to be the same message. So, what are they running for? You have to get that rank so you can help them with that. This little keynote I said, you will need to show or share at least 10 plus people to get 1 to 3 recruits. So it's that law of averages, the ratios with Mr. Jim Rohn. Show it to 10 to get 1, show 10, get 1, show 10, get 1. That number is going to be decreased with the 249, with the new product, with the EHT, with more science, with more publishings on the Nerium and how great of a product that really, really is. We're just beginning. That's the beautiful part about this. Okay, so what does it look like? Structure, do you not know? Do you know? You really want to learn the comp plan. You really do. If you're building, if you're driving, if you're going to the next level, if you're taking a big team with you, you need to know what that looks like. If you need the cheat sheet, look on page 9, ranks. You need to know that. But eventually you're going to want to know it in your mind as you're growing, as you're developing. The game plan. How can I help you? How can I help you this month? How many parties do you have on the books? How many bottles do you have out? You see, if one thing that we saw in San Jose was we saw so many people go to the next level. Okay, the organizations, we had 3 5-stars go 5-star last month. We had 1 person go 4-star. We had another person go 3-star. They're all in the Midwest, Arkansas, Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky, right there in the middle of the country. Okay, all they have done is real results parties. I asked Shalyn Murphy, I asked, Aaron Hall, I asked some of them what they did to get to the next level. It was 60 plus real results parties. Real results parties, again, take people from not knowing about Nerium to knowing about Nerium. If 1 person shows up, that's okay. That's all it's meant to be for, is to take someone from not knowing to knowing. Okay, so the RRPs are what you have to have going on. I mean, it's now proven in our model. And so with our delayed auto ship, the RRP is going to allow you to make more money faster. You see, prior to the delayed auto ship, you either sold the bottle and you signed them up for an ADO right online, or you sold them a bottle cash. Most people sold it online, the ADO. So let's say you had a party and your brand partner signed up 2 customers. It's a successful party. 2 customers, but that only made them maybe $30 to $60 in commissions. So it wasn't very exciting. It wasn't very sexy. It wasn't very fun to talk about $60. Even though it was a successful party, there wasn't that much materialistic value to it, if that's how you broke it down. Okay, now with the delayed auto ship, someone can buy the bottle from you. You're taking cash from them and signing them up on the auto ship for next month. You're making a full $80 to $100+ in cash when you sell that product. So people are going to be earning more money at their parties. How easy is it going to be for you to promote a party to a new person when you say, oh yeah, the average person makes $300-400 every single party that they have? That's the value. That's the big differentiator with the delayed auto ship. So hopefully you got that part of it. If you can delay someone's bottle from the company a month and sell them your inventory, you're collecting that full $80 to $100. It's a big difference. It's a big mind change. It's a big example of how parties work. Okay, so the game plan, how many bottles out? How many parties do you have on the books? So we've seen this before. This is how we track. Generally it says April or May or June, but today I did a 30-day focus. You see, if you haven't touched your board yet this month, go back to it right now. Who are you working with? Who are you running with? If you haven't done this month, focus on May. I'm going to say it already. Just focus on May. Who are you running with? What are they running for? Okay, you're going to check it down. So, I'm working with Jane Doe. Okay, Jane, what are you running for this month? I'm running for senior director. Awesome. Who are your 3 people that you're focused on this month? Well, I'm focused on Matt, Scott, and Casey. Okay, and then it breaks it down. Jane, one more question for this month. How many EHT customers do you want to personally bring onto the business next month? I want to bring on 10. Awesome. That's great. That's an additional $1,500 in volume if you just do that yourself. John, what do you want to run for this month? I want to run for regional. Okay, who are you working with? Well, I'm working with Mary, Connie, and Natalie. Awesome. What are they running for? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, John, you're running for regional. You obviously have a big organization. You have a big team. How many new EHT customers do you want next month? Well, I want 500. Bam. Okay. Boom. We got it. Great. So we're tracking that stuff. We're writing it down. Then we're game planning on this. Next thing over here, it says personal goals or personal focus. The thing David Bird talked about the most. This is also with the gals in Louisville, Indianapolis, Ohio, that amazing group of superstars. They focus on new brand partners and Fast Start qualification. Fast Start will go through the roof right now with the lower pack and the lower qualification. It's half of what it used to be. Okay, so again, we're going to move the needle here, but 20% should now be the average. Now we should be moving it up higher. But what we have to do is we have to take it from a number of 20% into a number of real people. Okay, so if your group last month recruited 10 people for the month, how many are supposed to Fast Start qualify? 2. Okay, if you recruited 20, how many are supposed to Fast Start qualify? 4. So that's what we're working on. We get that momentum going. We get that duplication going. We get that geometry. We get that multiplication going. It will run forever. Okay, that's what we're looking to achieve. And then your personal goals. Now is the time to recruit. Now is the time to recruit like never before. Between now and Dallas, my goal is to bring on 30 new brand partners myself personally. Okay, I'm going to do that by following up with people. I'm going to do that by sharing new information. I'm going to do that by getting them in front of the information, taking them from not knowing to knowing. But that is my personal goal between now and Dallas. It's doable. It's achievable. It's absolutely possible. Okay, so here's the numbers that we really wanted to focus on, okay? This is where you go to the next level. So if you thought I'm running for executive, I'm running for regional, I'm running for national, I'm running for senior director, it might be time to take your numbers to the next level, and here's why. Okay, so May 15th through June 15th is the pre-sale of EHT. Okay, this doesn't officially go on sale until August 1st, and then it'll be an actual auto delivery or a retail price of $70. But what they're doing is they're selling it in packs of 3. Okay, so I believe it's $150. They haven't announced that yet, but I believe it's around $150. So that's the numbers that I've given you here today. It's a 90-day supply of EHT. Okay, one thing that we have to understand here about EHT is you do not need to be Dr. Stock. You don't need to have Dr. Stock with you or Max with you. Just show the videos. Get people in front of NiriumEHT.com, the blog. Get them in front of the video. Get them in front of the information so they can read it, they can see it, they can experience it for themselves. They're going to buy this. Everybody I have talked to about this wants it. So think about that. How much can you do with this? How much volume can you push? How many sales can you bring on board with a product like this? Okay, so this is just a brief overview of what would happen if just one new customer was brought on by every single brand partner. Or look at it this way. Your team, your organization, your group. If you have 10 people on your team, 25, 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1,000 people on your team, who isn't going to at least try this for 90 days? And once they're on it for 90 days, how are you ever going to get rid of this? You see, our products prior to EHT were beautiful products. They're the best products on the market for vanity. And vanity is the market and the opportunity in the vertical that you want to be in. But this is now health. This is brain health. This is brain food. This is mind power. This is allowing you to think clear, work better, get more things accomplished, focus, recall memory, cognitive function. This is health. This is not vanity. This is about you. Where do you want to be in your later years? How many of us, unfortunately, have friends, family, loved ones that have suffered from some of the serious brain brain issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, things of that nature. What if you were able to take something that costs less than $2 a day and they gave you 1%, 10%, 20% more function? What if for those of us that do have friends, family, loved ones that have suffered from some serious issues, What if you had an extra 10 minutes of clarity with them? Could you imagine that? What could that have meant to you? What could that have done for your memory? What could that have done for your memories? Okay, this is a big product. If you go to a family of four, who's to say they're not going to buy 4 packs? Who's to say they're not going to buy 3 months of a handful of this? You go to a family that has 2 kids in grade school or high school, who's to say they don't buy 4 of these from you? Okay, so look at these numbers. This is just one customer on your team upgrading on the EHT, but look at the numbers that go into your favor. This is a slight edge mentality. 10 people upgrade and get EHT on May 15th. That's $1,500 in volume. What if 25 people did that? That's $3,705. Okay. What if 50 people got 1 customer? That's $7,500 in volume. So for those of you today that are brand new, that haven't built an organization yet, that haven't gotten to that level yet, this is how you do it. You can do it just on customer base. Bring in a few distributors, bring in a few brand partners to build your distribution and show them this number. Show them how these work. This is how you're going to get to that next level. If you're running for executive or regional, look at what you would have to do to bring on an additional 30 grand. Just in the month of May 15th to June 15th, if you brought in 100 customers, 200 customers, that's $30,000 in volume. It's not just you doing it, it's your organization and team doing it. So let's go to the next page. 3.3 customers added on. How I did this was I just did $500. How could your organization and team, knowing what they now know about EHT, not bring on an additional 3 customers? How could you not do that? So for the leaders, again, we talked about taking inventory. How many people are on your organization and team? How many of them are active? If they're not active, go back and talk to them. Hey, listen, I know you got started with me March 12th of last year. I don't know if you got off to the start that you wanted, but it's time to give Miriam another look. It's time to give Miriam another shot. Look at what we're doing. Look where we're going. Okay, how many families would you have to talk to bring on 3 additional customers? Look at these numbers, guys. This is what keeps you up at night. 10 people on your organization and team go out there and get 3 customers each. That's an additional 5,000 in volume. For those of you, you have probably one big organization. You might have one leg and you just need another volume. You need to balance out your organizations. You have your 60% leg. What do you do with your 40% legs? You drive volume. I did this with one of the gals on the team the other day. She had over 50 people in her open lines. If they just upgraded and sold a few bottles of product, that's an additional 25,000. Do you know what that would do for her group? That would take her automatically to RMD, from executive to RMD, just like that. In 1 month, just customer base. So these numbers are big. Next one, 10 customers. Okay, how many families do you have to talk to get 10 new customers? How many people at work do you have to talk to get 10 new customers? How many people at the track meet, at the swim club, at the soccer practice do you need to talk to get 10 new customers on your group? Look at the numbers. They get bigger and bigger and bigger. 10 people that commit for 10 new customers of EHT is $15,000 in volume for your group. How many is 100? It's $150,000 in volume. We are going to see more people achieve national marketing director in the next few months than we have ever seen before. And it's not based on recruiting or some money game. It's based on product. It's based on customer acquisition. I wasn't going to share this, but I will. I was talking to a guy the other day, networker, been in the networking industry for a long time. He supposedly has made hundreds of thousands. And on the phone, he said, we all know in this business that it's not built on customer base. It's just built on recruiting and selling people into the business. And I almost dropped the phone. That might be a good pitch for other companies, for other brand partners, for other distributors and other companies. But for the 3 people that he was talking to on our end that are in Miriam, it was the dumbest thing he ever could have said to us, because we build our volume. We build our business on customer base. This is where it's at. Imagine if you had 1,000 people that did 10 new customers, $1.5 million in volume. Who's to say you can't accomplish this? Who's to say you can't achieve this? And let me just step back really quick. For those of us on the webinar here today, they're going to watch the replay, that are just getting started. Use these numbers for our next product. Use these numbers in Canada when we launch Miriam Firm, when we launch EHT, when we launch whatever else that we're coming out with. These numbers will never change. They will always apply to our businesses going forward forever. You have to understand the slight edge approach. You have to understand how these propel you to the next level. Do you see how fun this is? We are in a distribution business. We are building organizations. We are building teams. And so if you're building right now, you want to get as many people started right now. Here's one more slide here. Let's take it one more. Okay, and this is the last one I did. Crazy numbers, huge numbers. I haven't even really done the numbers yet for the organization team that I'm a part of, just because I need to sleep at night. But think about this: if you had 10 people right now in your group, or you found 10 people that were core that wanted to change their life over a summer, over the next 90 days, 10 core for 10 weeks. If you found 10 people to get core and brought in 30 new customers of EHT, look at what this does for you. Okay, this is how you're going to go executive, regional, national, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 5-star. This is it. 10 people bringing in 30 new customers is $45,000 in volume. 25 people doing 30 customers is $112,000. 50 people bringing in 30 customers is $225,000. Look at the big growth here. 400 customers, 1.8 million. 800 customers, 3.6 million, just with one product over a 30-day process. This is big business, guys and gals. These numbers should be very, very, very impressive in regards to how quickly this is going to grow for you. You have to believe it. You have to call it into action. You have to empower yourself to go out there and build right now. So with EHT, share the video, show the videos, get out of the way and show the video, get out of the way, show the video. Ring, ring. Hey, Susie. Hey, it's Patty. Hey, did I catch you at a good time? Okay, I did. Well, hey, listen, I know I talked to you a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a few years ago about Nerium. Do you have a second to talk? Okay, you do? Well, hey, listen, this is what we've accomplished in the last 42 months. This is what we've come out with. This is who we've partnered with. This is what we're selling. This is what we're taking to the marketplace. This is the marketplaces that we're opening. Are you willing to give it a second look? You know, we have a webinar going on at this night. We have a real results party going on at that night. I'd love to meet you for coffee. You know, when can you give us a second look? This is the time. These numbers are in our favor. This is the product of all products. You know, one thing I want to share here is that, we all talked to Jeff. We all talked to Mark. You know, we saw them on stage. And so one thing that I kind of want to talk about really quick, and I'm just kind of thinking about this process, but kind of like with our Nerium product, okay? Sometimes we couldn't, as users, feel the difference right away. But our friends, our family, our neighbors, our loved ones, our coworkers saw the difference in us. That might be the same thing that happens with some people on EHT. They may not feel the difference 30, 60, 90 days out, but they will absolutely see a difference in their friends. Their friends will see a difference in them. They will see them change. Look at Mark on stage. Look at Jeff on stage. Some of you gave me some of those observations that you made about Jeff's hands, about he was easier to understand. He was more clear. He was more poised. Jeff is the leader of men and women, so he can't get any better. He's just getting more and more smooth. You know, Mark Smith, it was incredible to see his growth. You know, what if that's what this does? You know, what could this do? Who could you help? How many kids, college kids, how many people could you do with this, okay? There's a lot of companies that have gone through growth when they launch a new product category or vertical, okay? There's a company called Vima. It's a health and wellness company. Their number one product still actually is their monthly juice. You know, you take a shot probably twice a day, I would assume, with that business model. But they exploded with their YPR, Young People Revolution, when they launched the energy drink. So what Verve did for Vima, EHT will do for Nerium, for the YEP organization, Young Entrepreneurs Organization, but for everybody. How many men could not get behind skincare for whatever reason? Again, ignorance is not bliss, but how many guys just couldn't get over the fact that it was anti-aging or skincare? They have no excuses now. This product is for everyone. It's for your health. It's for your brain. What better product could you use? It's less than $2 a day. So let's break that down really quick. A Snicker bar, a Red Bull, a Starbucks, something that you're buying throughout the day is more than $2 a day. Okay, imagine taking a pill that would allow you to live at your highest vibration, to be peaked in, to be to be connected, to be touched into whatever it is, the power. So look at these numbers. What are you running for? If you need to change your life right now, if you need to change your financial situation right now, you need to get more boots on the ground. You need to get more brand partners in the business. And so that's what we're going to kind of end with here is what do you need to do? What do you need to do with EHT? Okay, so what we're saying, what a lot of the organization and team is saying, especially for the 249, is that you can preview EHT only if you're a brand partner. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna buy, I don't know how much I'm gonna buy. Instead of a stock, instead of a great tip, instead of maybe something that I want materialistically, I'm gonna buy a lot of EHT. And you're never gonna hear this from your leadership to buy product, to buy in bulk. But I'm gonna buy this one big. A few $1,000s easily is what I'm going to be investing into EHT. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I am going to be going back to a lot of people that I started my business with. I'm going to be making a road trip to Phoenix just to go back to my original group that I started with, show them EHT. I may sell them a few bottles of the EHT just on the side. I may give them one box if they enroll. But what I'm really looking to do is that if you come on board for $249, you can preview EHT on May 15th. Come on board, $249, you're going to get 3 bottles of night cream and buy a bottle of EHT or buy that 3-pack of EHT. Okay, what's that going to do for your volume? What's that going to do for you? That's part of your selling process. You may want to say that, hey, listen, only Nerium brand partners can preview EHT for the first 3 months before August 1st. It'd be in my best interest to get you on this product right now. It'd be in your best interest to get on this product as soon to now as possible. Imagine that. What could this do if you start taking it now currently? Okay, so that's what you want to focus on. For $249, you can preview the product. You can get started today and preview EHT. So you want to get out there. You want to showcase it. You want to share it. Go back to those that you've spoken with. Go back to your organizations and teams that never got off to the start that they wanted. A lot of change is happening. We've literally taken the governor off of the vehicle, and now it's time to roll. Now it's time to run. All those times that we thought Nerium could not get any better, it's going to continue to get better and better and better. How big of an organization and a team and a customer base will you have by Dallas? That's what it comes down to. Where can you go with this? What can you do with this? Why are you doing this? And so as we end here, and actually I see a few questions coming in. So if you have any questions, type into your box at the bottom of your screen. It should say Q&A, or big Q on a folder. You can type in a few questions there, and I may go over just a few minutes. But my part of the presentation will be over within the hour, like I said. But again, what are you running for? If you haven't gone out there yet since coming back from conference, or if you're sitting at home right now watching this and you haven't talked to anyone yet about EHT, why? Why have you not? You see, if you haven't, your why isn't big enough. You don't care enough. And that's where John Addison came into play. Being broke is comfortable. It's easier just to fly. It's easier just to kind of skip through life. It's easier to be there. My cardboard presentation at the conference, it said heartbroken by life. Not that I was miserable, not that I was negative or depressed. I was just sad for the fact that I could not find anything to attach myself with to make myself go further in life. I was tired of having someone's thumb on me, telling me when I had to be at work, when I had to be there, how much I was able to earn, what I was able to do, when I could travel, when I could take off, when I could go here or there. Okay, I was tired of that. I was sick of that. I was heartbroken by that reality. Is this really what life is all about? Working for somebody else, hours and hours and hours a day, going into work when you're sick, going into work when you're tired. Rather you want to be with your family or your friends and you got to go work some job. This is the time to take action. So if you haven't spoken to anyone yet, we need to address that. Why? Why? What is the reasoning behind that? We need to figure that out, and it's okay, but you got to get over it really quick, because this is the time. I always hear it. I always hear this. Man, I wish I would have got started when you got started. I get the philosophy. I get the mindset behind that, but you don't. This is the time to get started. Our company in 43 months has done over $800 million in sales. We sold out our next conference 6 months before the conference, 16,000 tickets in one day. Our company is on the move. Did you see all the Koreans that were already at our conference? Look at these people. They flew hours, 12, 24 hours to get on the other side of the world to be at our conference. They can't even get started until June. Why? because this is going to change their legacy. It's going to change their family. It's going to change their tree forever. Those numbers that I showed you hopefully inspire you to build, to grow, and to get committed, to be core. This is the time to do it. You're going to hear me say that over and over and over again, but it's kind of funny how it keeps getting better and better and better. And so, and when we leave the next conference, this will be the time to sacrifice. It'll be the time to go. It doesn't take that much time. The beauty of San Jose for me was truly seeing hundreds of people with no experience, with all the obstacles in front of them, like all we all have in our life, but they still excelled. They still got up and they still took action. So that's what I really want to share with you all today, is that this is the time. Go back to the people that you've talked to. Go back to the organizations and teams that you've started and never got off to that start. Go back to the people that told you they'd get started and they haven't yet. And you can take it away from them. Hey, listen, I know I spoke to you about Nerium a few months ago and it wasn't for you. But hey, I thought about your friend who's in pharmaceutical sales. Our next product deals with brain health. And we actually got the patent. The patent is owned by Princeton University. We partnered with Signum Biosciences to have the global exclusive rights for taking this around the globe, taking this around the world. One thing Don Wilkinson has been saying when he's talking to people, sometimes, this isn't for everybody, when people ask him what he does, he says, hey, I work with a company that's all about mind, body, and soul. Think about that. Think about what we're doing here. Not only do we have the greatest products ever for our vanity and now our health, we have a tremendous organization and team. The associations that we are around, you cannot beat. You cannot break. Look at the positivity. Look at the growth. Can you imagine that San Jose was only 7 days ago? I can't believe it was only 7 days ago. But man, I want to go back. We are something special. So that's what I wanted to end with today. I'm going to get to these questions right now. So for those of you all who gave us an hour, thank you for joining us. We'll be on here in just a few weeks as well. And as we go forward, the focus group will change here and there just for time issues and for calendar issues. But I wanted to kind of put it on today's date just because this is going to work well with us going into the upcoming months. And so if we actually do look at, what is today, April 20th, April 19th, our next focus group will be on May 3rd, Sunday, May 3rd, okay? So it's always going to be at 11:30 Central Time, 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 Mountain, 12:30 Central, 1:30 East Coast. But May 3rd,